is the Glass Cannon Network.
Logan, and you are watching or listening Haunted City on the Glass Cannon Network, where we bring you the finest in Blades in the Dark actual play. That is Blades in the Dark, the incredible game by John Harper and Evil Hat. Go and buy a copy. It is a lot of fun, and we're going to show you how much fun it is today. We are deep in the guts of Season 2, dealing with major world-shaking events. Let me introduce my cast: Josephine, McAdam, Salim, and Ross Bryant. What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Hey.
What's up?
I decided to start throwing my howl elsewhere.
I mean, at least your dog has a lot to say.
Josephine has come with her pack of baying hounds.
Josephine is like, release the dogs.
That's great.
All right. Well, we'll edit this part out. You know, the hardest
keep
thing.
It, you know, I think it's quite nice. I think it's nice. Show real life, you know.
Look, man, the real show, I think, happens now.
This is it now.
Yeah.
Right now.
People want to see us get up and go do something else for a while.
100%. You know?
Yeah.
The
Sorry
audience.
about that. Just
This is like the BTS.
Oh, no, don't bring him in here.
Don't bring the dog here. Don't bring him on camera, as much as I'd love it.
Oh my
For those
God.
of you in the audio listening audience, Jordy the dog is wearing a very adorable Burberry hoodie.
Can I just say that Burberry look, right? If you were to walk around in London with that look, it looks like a chav. I'm just saying.
I know.
Yeah, bro.
I'm
It looks
well
like
aware.
what
It's
does
only
it look like
doable
in-
here. A
Like a
chav.
chav. So
Or a
like,
What's a
Ned,
chav?
or
I might have to explain what that means.
all right, so
Yeah.
basically, I mean, I don't know how to explain this without being offensive. I mean, it's not really
We're
offensive.
allowed to be offensive. We're allowed to be offensive.
No, it's just UK slang, really.
It's essentially like, actually, you know what? No, I'm not gonna take the responsibility for this. I'm Googling chav and I'm gonna read what the Google says. Chav, a young person of a type characterized by coarse and brash behavior with connotations of, so basically it's like if Kim Kardashian didn't have money and she was in the UK.
Well, but their wardrobe is like Burberry and then tracksuits.
That's exactly it.
I just wonder, based on that definition, why Abu thought it was offensive. What were you gonna say? What were you gonna say, Abu?
Well, listen, I'm just saying it's like it's just.
I mean, it's a disparaging nickname for a type
Yeah.
of person. Yeah.
Sure. It doesn't seem to be. Well, okay.
It's a lot of like it could feel like classist at times because
exactly. That's it. It
tends
can
to be a
feel
lot of lower
classist.
income.
I feel like maybe an American analog that has a similar kind of baggage would be like the phrase "white trash," like coming from the South as we do. Jared, that has a certain.
Well, I am white trash, and I'm proud white trash.
Jesus.
No, it's not quite the same.
Yeah, you're allowed to have derogatory words for different economic classes.
Ooh,
Okay.
no,
That's
oh
like-
my
I do not
God.
co-sign.
That's so British, man. That's like such a British thing.
What? I'm not allowed to call rich people. Wait, what's the word for
sure.
rich people?
The 1%?
Well, no, but like a derogatory term. Oh, 1% is a derogatory term,
Or
kind
like
of.
Snobs, wealth
But it's
criminals.
kind of
Snobs.
that's kind of the joke, right? That's why he's like we're like Michael are like this is our like little hooligan. Hooligan is like
Hooligan, yeah.
Hooligan.
closer, but it's a little more
Hoodlum.
derogatory than.
And what are some
Hooligan,
derogatory terms for poor people? Let's go around the horn.
No.
Josephine, what can you think of any?
No,
I could like scav.
We're pro derogatory terms as long as it's punching up, you know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All
Yeah.
right. Let's
Yes,
not punch.
that's
Let's
true.
not punch down today. Okay. Well, I apologize, and soon this episode will be removed from YouTube.
Listen, man,
You know,
what I'm saying is...
Can I just say, as a 40-something white male, you can't say anything anymore.
Oh, no.
No, Jared, get off of here.
I'm constantly
Go.
being silenced
Stop it.
just because I want to say
You
derogatory things.
Stop.
Oh, I fucking love this. This is great. I signed up for this shit.
This
Day
is the
one.
place to. This is the place for me to have a platform about this,
Oh,
right?
man, this is brilliant. Absolutely.
Really air this out.
This podcast and x.com. Definitely. 100%. Like,
Yeah, places for you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not the one that brought up shalves or whatever you guys were talking about.
That actually sounds really like sophisticated. Are you a shav? Oh, shav.
Yeah.
Jordy
the
yeah,
dog is
I
shaved
always
out.
heard-
All because Jordy was wearing Burberry.
Yeah, or
man.
Furbury.
Spark something in me. I'm just saying.
Ooh,
Yeah, no, I
Burberry.
get it. I thought it was funny because of that, but no one here gets that.
Yeah. Trying to fit right in.
But no, yeah, he won't be wearing his little Burberry hoodie in London. So
Hey, I know another group of scrappy underclass
Yeah.
folks who are struggling against the 1%.
yeah,
And
Is
they
that
go by
some
the
sort
name
of?
of
The
Is that
Remnant.
some sort of segue?
yeah.
Well, you're gonna love this because I finally rewrote the intro.
Really?
1,000 years ago, this was a land of beauty and magic. Then came the cataclysm that blotted out the sun and ripped open the gates to the land of the dead. The city of Irondale is a colonial enclave surrounded by blasted deathlands inhabited by nomadic horse tribes. Outside the city is a wasteland of the ravening undead. Inside the city is a sweltering pressure cooker of conspiracy and oppression. Life is precious in a wilderness cloaked in shadows. The sun is gone. The only thing that shines in Irondale are the blades in the dark.
Yo, that's sick. That's so good.
I'm quite proud of sweltering pressure cooker of conspiracy and
Yes.
oppression.
Yeah, that was very well done.
Okay, so, sometimes we take a little bit of time between episodes, so I think that we need a huge recap. But before I get into our recap, I have some rules corrections, he said, pushing the glasses up on his nose.
Uh-oh.
The first is that I owe you guys more coin. Every
We like
time
that.
the crew advances a tier, each PC gets stash equal to crew tier +2.
Whoa.
So, I think you got to tier 1 back in season 1.
Yeah.
right.
And I think we may have used the rule at that point. I
didn't.
think that you got the extra coin at that point.
I
didn't.
think
Absolutely.
I think you're right, but I think no one else did it but me because I've always had this like stat. Like I've always had a little bit in the stash for a
I
while.
had like nothing.
Okay, so I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt and say if Valkos wants to go ahead and add to his stash, which would be, let's see, crew tier would have been 1 + 2, so 3 coin to the stash.
Okay.
He may. And Alden Sykes, even though you came into the crew later, I think that it stands to reason, given Alden's past and the fact that he came into this crew at a certain tier, he would also have 3 more coin.
Yeah, Alden's
Okay.
a hustler. So that's 3 coin in the stash?
Yes, but it gets better because
Ooh.
you guys also advanced to tier 2 at some point. So at that point, I don't think any of us used this rule. So
No.
everybody should get 4 more coin on top of that first 3 that goes into your stash.
That's so
Wow.
good. Shit, man.
Okay. What happens when you get to the end of a line of stash?
Of your stash
You
bar.
start filling out the next line of stash.
Well,
But
what are the big squares at the end of each line? Do we know?
Oh, Josephine, with your specific questions all the time. Let me
Yeah.
see.
For those of you not looking at the sheet, you've got these sort of bars of stash, and then there's a column on the right side where each bar ends in.
I feel like
a juicy
But I think it's the
gray
final
square.
one because when
Yeah, I
I
feel
went
like
to
it's
the
the
next
final
line,
one.
it auto-filled that top
Yeah,
one.
I think it's the final one because in that line there's only 9, and then it's like 10 is the big dot. So
Okay.
yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
So
So
yeah.
let's see how retirement is looking now, and it's interesting because you guys definitely were talking about retiring in Severos, and it looked like you weren't very close, but it looks like you're a bit closer now. I actually will look that up later and let you know.
Yeah,
oh, here we go. No, I have it right here.
Oh.
So if you have a stash between 0 to 10, you end up in the gutter, awash in vice and misery. If you have stash 11 to 20, you have meager, a tiny hovel that you can call your own. Stash 21 to 39, modest, a simple home or apartment with some small comforts. You might operate a tavern or small business. Stash 40, fine, a well-appointed home or apartment claiming a few luxuries. You might operate a medium business. How's everybody's stash looking right now?
So I'm at 14.
You're 14. Wait, how are you above me?
Yeah, man.
I'm at 12.
I save my money, save my dough, you know.
Right now, you guys have a tiny hovel that you can call your own if you retire.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
But hey, if we hitch up and combine, does that work? We do that?
Yeah, of course.
Wow,
if you guys,
you're making some assumptions there.
Wow. Okay. Well, I just
No,
thought
I
we
mean,
were having a
yeah, that
relationship.
could be.
No,
That could be.
Valkos has
Yeah, maybe
to
if we
ask.
combine.
Don't worry about it, guys.
Valkos is gonna ask Juliet to move in together. That's gonna be a huge. Well, actually, they've been living together for a while, but I guess share a boudoir,
Shared bank account.
share a
Yeah,
bank
share
Yeah,
account,
that's
really.
a big.
And you know when they get a dog that it's serious. Okay.
Yeah, well,
So-
the first pet didn't go well so far.
Yeah, well, there
We
you
do
go.
have a ape person.
No, Valkos used it as a hostage. Used them
Oh,
as
right.
a hostage. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, right.
So there we go. That was the good news. Now here's the bad news. And it's bad news for just Valkos.
What?
I looked over the specific rules on Tough as Nails.
Oh, for
And
God's
we
sake.
have been using Tough as Nails incorrectly for many, many episodes.
What do you mean?
Here is the deal with Tough as Nails. Tough as Nails does not take a harm and push it down to a lower harm level. Tough as Nails makes the penalties for each level 1 lower. So, what does that mean? It means that at tier 3, you take -1 die. Like most characters take at tier 2. It means at tier 2, you have less effect. Like most characters have at tier 1. And at tier 1, I'm assuming you have no penalty.
How's
Right?
that bad?
It's not bad at all. But here's the reason it's like this. If I give you a tier 3 harm, and then we fill it up, and the tier 3, and then you get a. Sorry, let me say this correctly. If I give you a tier 3 harm, and then I give you another tier 3 harm, that pushes the tier 3 harm up into level 4, and you die.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
So things can go upward, and you're not constantly pushing things down, so you would never die. Does
Right,
that make
I see.
sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Okay. So that is what we're gonna do from here on out. And apologies for getting that wrong.
Okay.
But I think, I think it was fun the way we were doing it, but we got to do it the right way.
No, that makes sense actually. I guess it's the same. I guess it's same, but different. But it's still scary because you're right? Because the only way I could get like a level 3 harm is if I had a level 4 harm, but that's like death, right?
Yes,
So-
exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
now
No, that
it
makes
makes a
sense.
little bit more sense.
Yeah,
Just
that
remember
really
that
does.
all the penalties go boop up one level, and you'll remember what Toughest Nails does for you.
100.
Okay, and now let us enter the realm of imagination and story with this brief recap. The nobles of the Empire are in full rebellion against the immortal Emperor. The Civil War was set off when evidence of Lord Strangford's demonic corruption was revealed by the ink rakes of Doskvol. I wonder how they got that information. Your crew, the Remnant, have relocated to Severos, where you're looking to retire in comfort. You have been looking for a job worth a lot of coin, and you decided to talk to a merchant named James Marr, whose boss, Park Wynn, a noble, has been arrested by the Imperial military. It was hinted that you would receive 9 coin if you could get Park Wynn out of Imperial custody. You arranged an exchange with Lieutenant Sylvester, also known as Fuzz, of the Imperial military. If you could capture a creature that had been terrorizing Irondale, a creature called the Burner, you could give the credit to Lieutenant Sylvester, and he would make sure that Park Wynn quietly disappeared from the Imperial cells at the Imperial base in the middle of Irondale. You managed to summon the demon to the old tree with the help of Gretchen, the Whisperer, and the ghostly shaman who has been mentoring Valkos. Juliet trapped it in a circle of black salt. Alden got close enough to trap part of it in Gretchen's spirit bag, but it escaped. And then in the last moments, the demon vomited forth Eric, Lord Strangford's agent, out into the circle. That is a recap that I had to write down, so I got it all right. And now let us set the scene again. You are beside the old petrified gnarled tree. The demon, the Burner, a hound made of fire with a kind of a strange sort of octopoid arachnid creature that extends from its mouth, stands there having just vomited Eric onto the ground. Eric is covered in sort of a effluvia of burning fluid and looks up at you and smiles. And you all stand before him, armed and ready for trouble. And he begins to stand up. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to try and possess this ghost again, or take this ghost.
Yeah, it's a demon, but you want to you want to try to possess it. Okay.
Because I think in my mind, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe perhaps I wasn't able to get it within me because I assume Eric was already within it. You know, it was full. So I am now going to try again, knowing that it is completely empty.
That makes sense to me. Just to recap for anybody watching or listening, last time Valkos tried a pretty amazing occult maneuver, trying to absorb the demon into him, let it possess him, bond with him in order to capture it. The first attempt was unsuccessful. It managed to break free from his control, but Valkos is going in to try it again right now. As Eric gets to his feet, I'll allow you, in this moment where, the beast, the demon is sort of vulnerable, I'll allow you to try it again. But if you recall last time, you had to do a lot of things to get up to its tier. Mm-hmm. So are you able to kind of complete all of those steps again? I'll give you a little bit of an advantage. I'm going to bring it down a tier because it just vomited forth Eric, who I think that their power is connected.
And so I don't know if this...
tier is it?
I'm going to put it at tier 3 right now.
And I don't know if this holds over, but Alden, of course, did write all those wind fox prayers all over.
That's right,
Valkos,
and that gave Valkos an extra die, and we'll say that continues to be true.
You still have your spiritual coolant system.
And I'm going to be using Ghost Fighter as a whole. All right,
that brings us down to tier 2, which is your tier, right?
Well, it would be surely it'd be tier 1, right? Because if it's 3.
No, I think he was giving you an extra die, Alden stuff.
Right, okay, true. Okay, yeah, so it'll be tier 2, which is my tier then. And then I'm going to push myself for greater effect.
Oh, right, yeah, because you want to completely absorb it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's ask you, what action are you going to use?
I'm going to go again with my skirmish.
Skirmish, great. And let's set the stakes. If you fail in this time, this is no longer available to you.
Okay.
You will not be able to attempt this again. This is all or nothing. Okay. All
So
right.
what's my position then?
Your position is desperate,
All right.
and it is for great effect though, because you're pushing yourself and you're taking that stress.
I'm
so
taking
put
the
2
extra
stress
die
down.
as well. Yep, done
And
that.
suddenly Valkos leaps on the demon again, his skin singed by the flames emanating from it, and you see him like stuffing 6.
Oh, my man.
Okay. Suddenly the demon is kind of absorbed into Valkos's torso. And Valkos is currently wreathed in eerie flame. His eyes are flaming, and flaming pseudopods are kind of emanating from Valkos's mouth and sort of feeling around in the air. But there's one more thing I should tell you, Valkos.
Oh, shit. Okay.
There is a line of flame between you and Eric right now.
Can I see that?
Yeah, you can see that. In fact, you can feel Eric. And
Interesting.
you hear his voice in your head. Degathos is bonded to me. Do you really want to challenge me?
I'm gonna grab hold of that fucking bond and try and do a tug of war, baby. That's what I'm
Okay.
doing.
He as well touches his hand. He's not like tugging it with his muscles. He just touches his hand to that thin astral thread that is connecting you and him and the demon inside of you.
Cool.
Let me ask Alden and Juliet, is there anything that you'd like to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Father. Now, Alden didn't see this himself, but perhaps heard about it. But you mentioned that when we encountered Eric on the Corsair, that he sort of summoned this Dagathos, the flaming demon dog, with an amulet that he wore around his neck, or something like that.
That is correct.
I believe so.
Uh-oh. Jared's like, I can't believe you remembered that.
Well, right? I think so. There was some material component to that summoning, I thought.
It was an amulet around his neck.
And I want to know if the I think so. And what I'm curious is Eric wearing that now? Is that
Well, he is completely naked, except for an amulet around his neck.
He's been
Okay.
naked this whole time?
He's naked as the day was born.
With an
And
amulet.
Juliet, you can see everything.
Oh my god.
wow?
Hey, what the fuck?
And he's stacked.
All right.
He
all right.
is.
Enough, guys.
Oh my gosh, very muscular, beautiful body.
Okay, right. We need to seriously.
And it doesn't hurt that he's covered in a fiery oil.
Okay.
Oh my.
Glistening in flammable oil.
Can you
Yes.
just talk about the fact that this guy tried to kill me? All right, thanks, cool guys. Bye.
Okay. So I would like to disrupt the effects of that amulet. I think I might try to whip out a dang old gun and shoot it off.
Can we not talk about
Amazing.
whipping things when the guy's naked, right? Don't whip anything
Yeah,
out.
whip 'em.
Right? Just
Whip 'em,
just
Alden.
look. All right,
I'm
we're
just
just
Got a gun.
I'm gonna whip out my piece, and I always got that thing on me. And
Are you gonna shoot him in the process, or are you gonna shoot it right off of him like a gunslinger?
I mean, the goal is just to I almost want to smash it, break it.
Okay.
So that's the goal here.
Okay, great.
Break his spiritual connection to this thing.
Okay, great. I am gonna set our friend Eric's tier a bit higher than you, 2 tiers higher than you. Okay, so he's a badass.
That way.
However, I'm gonna take it down 1 because he is not currently behind cover or ready for a firearms attack. So we'll just put it 1 tier above you. And that means you need to mitigate that somehow, or you will have less effect.
Cool. Now, shooting seems to me that seems like it's finesse, which is not a great skill for me. But and I could bump it up if I had more stress to spend. But I've only got 2 pips of stress left. So maybe. So God, there's actually, okay. This might take me out of things, but I'm gonna try to.
You're gonna push for great effect.
I could try to push for great effect because I feel like that's the only way I can bump the effect level up.
You'd prefer a devil's bargain.
I'll hear one.
Okay, let me think. So you're trying to shoot this amulet, breaking the connection between Degathos and Eric, and you need an extra die to kind of, or no, you want more effect, right? Is that what you're trying to get?
I'm between a rock and a hard place here, GM, because the gun isn't the. I'd love an extra die to get over my 1 die, but it looks like the only thing I can affect is that effect level. So I'd push myself for great effect, but then it would just be a coin flip.
Well, you can choose either one. You could have limited effect but have 2 dice with the Devil's Bargain, or you could have 1 die to roll but have, standard effect. You can choose. But I have to. Let me give you the bargain.
Give me the bargain.
The bargain is that you are soft.
Right.
So if you shoot him right now, you are going to take a level 1 harm called remorseful, and it's going to affect your effect throughout the rest of the score.
Okay.
It's cute.
I'll take it.
Okay. So are you going to use it for effect or an extra die?
I'm going to use it for. I'll use it for an extra die.
Okay.
Just so that I can shoot straight and true. But and tell me if it's being a bad player to try to stack things like this. Now that I've accepted the Devil's Bargain, can I also take a flashback?
Of course, and it's not being a bad player, it's being a good player to figure out all your advantages. Go ahead, what's your flashback?
Great. So in preparation.
Oh, by the way, you're almost out of stress, right?
Oh yeah. So depending on I'm putting this on your hands. I'll describe this, and if you tell me that this is a 2 stress flashback, then that means this is my last action in this scene or whatever.
Oh God.
I would like to be there with Gretchen the Whisper, and getting her to carve something with a little nail on the lead of this bullet, so that this bullet is itself an arcane weapon, that it is received the blessing of whatever gods they pray to in the Dagger Isles, and it's now locked and loaded, and is the bullet that is going to be flying towards this amulet.
Great. I think that's actually a special ability that other playbooks can't get. And maybe the Hound has like ghost bullets, or this will be a demon bullet, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that I'm gonna let you have that for 1 stress. I'm being so nice, but I think really that you've already established your connection with this Whisper, and I think she would have access to stuff like that. All
right then. What's my position here?
Your position is going to be. Oh my gosh, there's so much going on. Your position is going to be. It's not desperate because you're not going to get hurt. This is going to be risky for standard effect, and if you fail, you're going to you might hit somebody else.
Okay, and I get that
because everybody's close together. Everybody's in this circle of black salt kind of clumped together.
Okay,
and you get remorseful if you succeed. That's the Devil's Bargain.
Gotcha. Okay, here we go. Oh boy. So, Valkos is like tugging on the flame string. Eric is laying hands on it and opposing him. And here we go. Okay. I level my little revolver, and that's a 4.
A 4. Success with a consequence. Well, the first consequence is from the Devil's Bargain. You take remorseful.
Right.
The second consequence is this. Yes, you succeeded. You blast the amulet off of Eric, but you do not actually shoot him to the point where he is injured or hurt in any way. Like,
okay.
You kind of just like graze the amulet and break it off of him, and suddenly the connection between him and the demon is snapped, and the line of fire just gets like sucked up into Valkos, and Valkos is now, he's got tendrils of fire coming out of his ears and his eyes and his nostrils, and you can see Valkos shaking with the power of the thing inside him, and Eric falls to the ground, all supernatural aura sort of like burns off of him like steam. And Juliet, is there anything that you'd like to do?
Yeah, I would love to. I'll tick off an unusual weapon. I don't know how unusual it is. It's unusual maybe that it's in my hands, because somehow I have one of Valkos's Severosi blades that I've taken.
Nice.
And I would love to just run up and try to decapitate him.
Decapitate?
Him being Eric, not Valkos.
No, I know that. You want to decapitate him. Okay.
I would.
Okay, you can try. It sounds like, what action are you going to use?
Skirmish. Although
Okay.
I'm blown up, so I have one less die.
Okay, great. You are going to use skirmish against Eric. I'm going to say limited effect if you're trying to decapitate him.
Has his tier
Decapitation is
gone
very...
down with the loss of power here?
Yeah, he's at tier 3 right now.
Okay. Okay. And there's less effect. Okay.
You could just go to gouge.
So you've gone from less effect to no effect because of your own less effect. Oh no, you have negative
mine
1
is
die.
minus 1 die. Yeah.
Okay, minus 1 die and less effect unless you mitigate that somehow.
I could push myself to have it have effect.
Okay. You should,
Okay.
if you want to.
Do you have a devil's bargain for me?
A devil's bargain. Yeah, here's my devil's bargain. If you succeed, there's going to be a particular supernatural effect that will affect Valkos. That is not going to be good.
What kind of bargain is that, man?
I'm cold now. I take it.
Tornadoes.
Oh no! Okay.
Love hurts.
Wait, you said not good. It doesn't. You didn't say like lethal.
It will not be lethal.
Oh wow, what a bargain! It's not good. It's not lethal though, is it?
We're fighting right now. You know, it's okay. Okay, so this is what's the position here?
The position will be, because you're not looking at harm or anything devastating happening to you if you fail. We're gonna make it risky for standard effect. The consequence if you fail is simply that Eric will have a chance to regroup, get on his feet again, and probably get back up to tier 4 as like ready to fight.
Okay. Okay. And so I took the devil's bargain so that to mitigate my lost die, and and I pushed myself. Okay, great. Here we go.
God fucking damn it!
6.
Amazing.
A 6.
Sorry, Valkos.
Juliet, describe how you murder Eric.
Yeah, I think, he drops to his knees having lost his power, and I think that it's kind of unsettling to then have some, on their knees who seems like helpless for a moment. She just walks up without any hesitation, pulls out this blade, and just goes to decapitate him without a second thought in front of Alden. Yeah.
I think I know why remorse is now crowding Alden's thoughts. Is just like he remembers other times he's fired weapons, and it's like, oh, this is not right. But at least he'll survive. and then he's just dropped, head lopped from his shoulders. It's like, oh my God.
Thanks for setting him up, Alden.
Right.
And here is the negative effect that I mentioned in the Devil's Bargain. Blood spills across the circle, erasing away part of the black salt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, Valkos, you can feel this thing inside you, and it is fighting for control. It's moving one of your arms, and it is grabbing at your weapons.
Do I feel its intent?
Its intent is to murder you so that it can get free of your body.
Right. I am going to make a move for the amulet.
Ah, okay, great. So this thing is not gonna, it's gonna try to, exert its mental control so that you cannot get the amulet. So,
okay. I feel like I will be using... well, I'm wrestling with it mentally. So would it be resolve? It would be something in resolve, wouldn't it? Right?
It would, but that's a resistance attribute. Right now you need to use an action to get yourself over to that amulet and pick it up. And I can tell you this. This is how the roll's going to work. If you fail at this, it is going to take your big blade out of your sheath and it is going to stab it into your neck for, let's go ahead and call it a level 3 harm.
Oh, great. Okay, fantastic.
Can I assist Valkos if I see this wavering happening?
Yeah,
I want to sort of almost go to him and say, Valkos, stay with us, stay with us.
Because I feel it is a physical bout, I am going to try and argue for skirmish because I'm fighting against myself. Because I feel like if I was to command, I don't think it's about commanding it or command obedience with this thing, because it's not going to work. I could potentially attune, but again, it's like it's. I'm not fighting to control it mentally. I'm trying to. I guess I'm trying to think if I was. It's like, when you're in a dream and you're trying to run, essentially. Yeah. But your body. And you're pushing yourself to try and run. I feel like that's the fight I'm having right now.
Okay. Well, in Blades in the Dark, you can use any action conceivably to do any task. So if you are fighting yourself, and I really imagine you actually holding your own hand, do you know what I mean? And trying to bash it back and then trying to kind of twist yourself out of your own blows to get to the amulet, then I will allow for skirmish. Okay.
And I've got an extra die, right, for the assist, right?
Yeah, I'll take a stress to assist you, and I think it's just trying to get eye contact and
what's the position?
The position for this is desperate because, it will take you out if you fail.
And the effect?
The effect?
Probably standard.
Standard. You will get the amulet in your hand if you...
5 with success with a consequence.
Success with a consequence. You manage to dodge your own blows. You manage to skirt out of the way of the blade coming at your throat. And then you fall to your knees in the middle of the circle and you scoop up the amulet. And the second that you do that, you feel the thing unable to kind of move your arms anymore. It's like its strength washes away. But there is a consequence, right? And that will instead be a level 1 harm called headache.
Okay. Great.
Now, because of tough as nails, you don't take any negative effects from a level 1 harm. But if all your harm boxes fill up, you get taken out of commission, so it still matters.
Okay. What do I do here?
I might offer that maybe Gritchen and I might make another attempt with the bag.
Yeah.
If the demon is for the moment subdued within the body of Valkos, maybe we can ask him to barf it up into the into the sack.
Yes, in fact, Gretchen now approaches in her rabbit mask and says, "Expunge the demon into the bag, quickly!"
Let's get him out of there.
How do I fucking do that? Do I? Yeah.
You've got to push him out. Got to push him out.
I think then what Valkos is essentially...
Breathe. Quick breath.
Stay with me. Look at me.
Here, squeeze my hand.
Could I turn to the shaman that's inside my head for help, please? Because everyone else isn't helping.
Oh, when the demon moved out, when the demon moved in, the shaman moved out, and so the shaman is kind of standing away from you, and looking on you, and is saying, "Maintain control. Share your soul with the creature."
Oh, fuck, though. I'm just going to attune then.
Seems real risky.
Yeah, I'm going to attune.
And are you attuning to expel it into the bag, or are you attuning to do something else?
I'm attuning to maintain control.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Oh my
so,
God.
Just to be clear, if you ignore the request to put it in the bag and you sort of try to maintain control right now, you will have absorbed the demon in a semi-permanent way. You can tell that you will have somehow kind of melded it with yourself.
No, what is it with the people that Juliet sees and like getting possessed? I'm
doing it. I'm going with it. Let's do it. Okay.
And let's find out what happens when we come back after a short break.
St. Michael brings out his holy sword, places his heel upon the neck of the serpent. For now, the hour is struck, the trumpet has been sounded, the dead shall walk again. The serpent comes, but upon all of them he shall place the mark of the beast.
We're back. Valkos has absorbed a demon called Degathos and is trying to meld it with his soul and take control of it. Valkos, you said you're going to use a tune?
Yeah.
Okay.
And because we're all in the mood of taking devil's bargains, I'm going to take a devil's bargain.
Okay. So we're using a tune. Let me just set everything, okay? First of all, I think that this is, I hate to keep giving desperate actions, but Valkos sort of puts himself in desperate situations. So be desperate for great effect, okay? Meaning you will have absorbed the demon if you do this.
Okay.
The consequence if you fail is that the demon will have control of you for an unspecified amount of time.
Okay.
And the Devil's Bargain is going to be... Is there even a Devil's Bargain here? A level 2 harm. You have to take a level 2 harm to do this.
Okay.
And that level 2 harm will be loss of control, meaning that even if you do this, there's sort of, it makes your hands shake sometimes, or it makes it hard to focus because the thing is howling inside your mind.
Okay. Here we go, team.
Perhaps after having it as bonded to you for a while, you would get control of that, but for now, you'll take that level 2 harm.
That sounds good.
Okay. How many dice does that give you?
Oh my god.
What happened?
What happened?
got a 2 and a 1.
It's a 2 and a 1.
What happened to Valkos's dice
luck? What's happening to my die, man? I don't know what is going on. I don't know what is going on.
It's really on the line.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Wait, what happened?
This is what happens. First of all, you do take that loss of control harm no matter what, because that was the Devil's Bargain. Then I can tell you all that Valkos, Gritchen, and Alden approach and say, expel it into the bag. And Valkos, you hear him say, no, I can do this. I can control it. And you see him kind of double over and do the Jekyll and Hyde kind of like, ah. And then all of a sudden, when he raises his face again, you are not looking at a person. You are looking at an animal. His eyes blaze with fire. The fiery pseudopods are swinging out of his mouth, and he snarls and attacks Alden Sykes.
What?
Oh dear.
Can I try to
Valkos.
do something as well? Like, can I try to
Alden needs,
jump in?
Yeah, you want to jump in? Yeah, if you want to jump in, I'll allow it. Yeah.
I want to tackle him with some standstill poison in a syringe. Even if it means some harm, I want to try and tackle him down.
Okay, that makes sense. And
I see him diving for them.
Yeah, because the possessed Valkos is focused on Alden, it makes sense that you'd have this opportunity, Juliet. So, what action are you going to use?
I'm going to use Skirmish.
Okay.
Now, I have -1 die because I'm blown up. However, I do have Trust in Me, which gives me +1 die against targets whom I have an intimate relationship, right?
Oh.
Yes, except that you're not really dealing with a Valkos right now.
Yeah, but I know his body, right? So I know how to...
Wow, okay, jeez.
Josephine, you are on it today. What is happening?
I'm just...
I'm hot.
Wow, guys,
She knows his
you
body.
need to settle down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll read the syringe, just whip it out, and
These are just the facts.
I'm going to let you do it because I don't like telling people their powers won't work unless it's really way out of bounds. So,
Okay, I mean, it just negates the loss I would have normally had, I think. It just evens out.
Yeah, no problem.
And yeah, so I'm going to try and tackle him down and inject his neck with just standstill poison to just freeze him in place, right? It doesn't really stop the possession, but it would at least stop the vessel this demon is using, right? For a moment.
Exactly. Yep. It would paralyze the body that the demon has inhabited.
And standstill poison is a tier 4 alchemical, so also helpful.
And this is going to be desperate for you, Juliet, because these fiery pseudopods are swinging around so much that if you fail, you're going to take some harm.
Okay.
You're going to take a level 1 harm called Burned.
Okay. All right. Desperate, standard effect.
Standard effect.
Here we go. 5. Success with a consequence.
Success with a consequence. The consequence is you're loading your standstill poison so quickly that you kind of fumble with it, and you only get a little bit into the syringe before you inject it. So the consequence is that yes, he is paralyzed, but not for a long time.
Did you just limit my effect?
Wow.
Okay, fine. It's
No,
I'll take it.
he's paralyzed just for not as long. Is that not legal?
No, it's good. No, it's great. Let's do it.
All right, different consequence.
No, let's do that.
He's paralyzed for a while, but you have now used up all your standstill poison. A lot of it is laying there, being absorbed into the dirt. You cannot use this. We cannot use this tactic, which Juliet uses a lot. Again.
Okay.
Hey, it's my alchemicals. That's how I do it.
Of course, you
Okay,
can't.
all right, cool.
During this score,
Yeah.
you cannot use it again.
Okay.
At this moment, as I see Juliet plunge the syringe into the fiery body of Valkos, Alden will come to his senses and try to whip the spirit bag, over Valkos' head like a hood.
Yes,
And-
I'm gonna get this demon out of him.
And see if this thing can be extracted by force. And
It is for naught. Unless he expels the demon, the bag will not take it.
Oh my god. You
say.
cannot extract it from him?
I can
can we-
attempt an exorcism.
Yes.
Well, what do you need for the... Yes, then we need to get this damn thing out of him.
Stand back.
And she digs through her pack that's nearby, and it brings out some kind of weird symbol carved in stone, and then she reaches, delicate little fingers reach for the amulet, which is still clutched in one of Valkos' hands, and when she touches it, it burns her. Ah! We have to get that
Bobble out of his grip.
All right.
okay. And Alden will attempt to do that. I mean, it seems I've got my loadout is heavy. This seems like he wouldn't have come with like tongs or something, but he might have come with like gloves or.
Well, what does it say? Because your loadout tells you what stuff you have.
Right. Yeah, does a fine disguise kit help in this scenario?
Does a fine disguise kit contain gloves?
No, probably not. Well, I don't know that it would contain heat.
Like fire?
Given
gloves.
that I just made a fortune roll and rolled a 6, it does indeed contain a pair of gloves.
Okay, yeah. Perhaps this fine disguise kit is more like disguise for stevedores who work at the Irondale docks. It's more to like blend in crowds of workers, and those are exactly the sort of folks who, when unpacking packing containers containing all sorts of electroplasmic apparatus, need some protection on their mitts.
Yeah.
He's got like a rolled up coveralls and gloves, and that's about as much as this disguise is. But yeah, he takes out these chunky workman's gloves and goes to pluck the amulet out of Valko's hand.
Okay, great. What action is he going to use?
Prowl.
Prowl. Wait, should we even do this with an action? You're just pulling an amulet out of his hand, and you've protected
Seems
yourself with gloves.
Simple enough, doesn't it?
Yeah, and
No,
he's
I want an action.
paralyzed.
I want an action. There's something happening here that is dangerous. So,
And I'm using prowl because I'm trying to do this in a way that is like avoiding all attention. It's like going over the way these tendrils are roiling and swinging in one way, and he's coming in from underneath to just gently remove it from his mitt. Here we go.
Valkos is shaking. His muscles are twitching, but in a way that doesn't make sense. Like you watch the muscles on his neck bulge out of sequence with each other, a vein in his head pulsating, and those fiery tendrils. It seems like the thing is trying to crawl out of Valkos's throat. but can't or can't move the body sufficiently. And so you now reach forward with your gloves. This is going to be risky. For standard effect, the consequence is that you too may get burned and take a harm.
Okay, here we go. That's double fives.
Double five. Success with a consequence. You pull the amulet away. It is burning your hands. You throw it. You can't even hold it in the gloves for very long. Although you are not damaged. You take no harm. And the consequence is that Gretchen says, "The bag now!" But you're busy, Alden, so it's up to Juliet.
Okay.
The bag!
Yes, and I'll dive for the bag.
Okay,
Not that I know how to do any of this, but
Yes, this is not your forte. You like science, and this is crazy whisper mojo stuff.
Yes.
That is when Gretchen pushes the stone implement against Valkos's chest and says, "Banish! I banish thee! I exile thee! Rum-tum-tummy, rum-tum-tum!" And is screaming in her rabbit mask.
Amazing.
And let's see how our good friend Gretchen does. Okay. The thing starts to explode out of Valkos's mouth. It starts to just like come out in a wave of fire and muscle and sinew, and it is lurching toward the center of the circle. And Juliet, this is your one. It's you didn't have the bag over his head, so you have to kind of
I'm gonna try and like catch this demon.
What action
in this
are you gonna
bag.
use?
I'm gonna use skirmish, assuming that there's gonna be some like, this is not an easy thing like to do.
Okay.
There's some like physical endeavor in this.
I'll allow it. Here it is. Risky for standard effect. If you succeed, you will have captured the demon in the bag. If you fail, the demon is free. And remember, the black salt is no longer here trapping it in.
Yeah, I'm
this
gonna
seems.
Ooh,
I'm sorry, but this seems so important.
yes.
I might assist to give you an extra die.
Okay, great.
But this means that I will have filled my stress bar.
Oh, I'm gonna push myself to negate my negative die.
Can I do an action? I feel
You
or am I
are
rendered?
paralyzed.
I'm
What kind
paralyzed.
of action are you going to do?
Well, I mean,
His mind is aware.
this is the thing. My mind's aware, right? So
Yes.
So this is the. I don't know whether this is. I mean, it feels part of the role play, but we'll see. So, as it's coming out of my mouth, I think there is a moment, and maybe I can do. Maybe this moment works or it doesn't. But there's a moment where I feel like I want to speak to it, and I think there is a sense of viciousness, or one of my, as my trauma comes in, and as I see her, the sense of this banishment trying to happen to me, I feel personally attacked. I feel like she is coming at me. So I feel like rather than it necessarily coming out to the middle, I want it to almost go through her head as it goes through the middle.
Gretchen?
Yep. It's almost like as you see the tendrils kind of come out, I'm getting this from Baldur's Gate 3. It's like mind flare nature sort of like, and kind of, I want it essentially be like, I'm trying to work with this beast, right? I'm trying to meld with this beast. So I'm almost trying to protect it. And by feeling attacked and being attacked, part of it, I'm feeling like I'm trying to almost aid it sort of from stopping from being banished. It can still go to the middle, but I feel like I want to try and do something in order to...
So here's the deal. She was successful in her exorcism role, so it's coming out of you one way or another. She's a pretty good whisper. You no longer have the amulet, which allowed you to kind of control. And but you want something bad to happen to your crew? Okay, no problem.
No, she ain't my crew, man. She's. I think this is the thing, right? I think there is a sense of I feel attacked, and I think like again, my trauma would essentially, because I am vicious, because this thing has made me vicious. I feel like naturally, my reaction would be a vicious act through someone
Yes.
trying to affront me this way.
I think that your head sort of aims, you kind of lurch forward, and the demon is going to pour right through Gritchin's head as Juliet tries to capture it in the bag. And guess what? I'm not even going to make you roll for that. I'm just going to let it happen. So you want something vicious to happen? That's using your trauma, and I'm going to allow it. Let's go back.
Valkos.
Yeah, that's using your trauma.
You're going to let me just capture it.
When we do the XP later, did you deal with issues from your vice or trauma? Yes, you did. You are being vicious. And so let us now see how Juliet's roll goes.
Okay, and do you want this extra die?
I have 3 without it. What do you think?
Don't do it, man. You'll be otherwise you're gonna get another stress, dude.
You don't need another trauma.
You don't need to get out, man.
You don't need another trauma, man. You just all didn't.
We don't need another trauma.
I think actually the way I think the softness maybe is the reason why I'm not as focused on. Is because I see what's happening to Gritchin and I'm like, no, not another. And
I think I just knock you out of the way. I'm like, move.
Yeah, I'm useless at this moment. Like, I can't assist you. I'm like too horrified by what's happening to my Whisper Confederate.
Yeah, okay.
So wait, did you assist or no?
I did not.
Okay, great, here we go.
Is this desperate?
It is desperate. Yeah, I think I might have said risky before, but it's desperate. Because if you fail, it'll escape. That seems like the whole point of the score.
Yeah. Is this standard?
Yeah, standard effect. You will capture it.
Okay, here we go. A 5
Nice.
is
It's a
in
5.
there. Yes.
Success with a consequence. Well, the consequence was already kind of set up by Valkos, and so I'll kind of let it come under this consequences umbrella. The demon sort of tears through Gritchin's head as it gets sucked into your bag, and you watch as the flesh of her face and head, first of all, the mask cracks, breaks, and tears away, and then you watch as the flesh of her head is just ripped away and shriveled and burned until you're looking at nothing but a blackened skull.
Oh,
and her
my
body
God.
slumps to the ground dead. And then the thing down into the bag, and there's just a little tendril of smoke coming up from the bag. And looking at Valkos, you can see that he is kind of like bleeding from his eyes and nose and ears, but he is no longer, covered in eerie supernatural flame.
I think I'm just gonna hand the bag to Alden and run to Valkos.
I will take it and make sure it's well and truly cinched up.
Valkos stands there immobile.
Oh yeah. While he's immobile.
And you fought to not have the paralysis
While
be
he's
short.
immobile, like, you idiot. That thing could have taken over you.
I had
Thinking we just
I was
talked
in
about this.
control.
Take out a syringe, whatever, and like filling it with Alkahest. And I'll just stick it in his neck and just slowly inject that in.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. I was I could see. I saw the hands. I saw the builder again, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're sorry. I'll turn around and go to Gretchen's body. How's
And
Alden doing?
Alden is kneeling over the body of Gretchen, and
Just as you guys go to touch her body, suddenly your ritual of the crow's veil activates, and you all go and spit a cloud of supernatural smoke into the air. And don't forget the body of Eric is laying there decapitated as well.
yeah, and Alden is just his head hanging. His hand comes up. One hand is on the bag. One hand just reaches up to your shoulder, Juliet, and it gently touches your shoulder. And then it just closes extremely hard. Pressure point hard. And looks up. He's like,
do you remember what this was for? We're trying to retire here. We scratch their back, they scratch ours. This is a long game, and you have to play smart. You're a scientist. So, prefer in the future we don't leave a trail of dead bodies in the bush every time we come out to do our work.
Yes, I'm
What
a
a
scientist.
bloody mess! And she didn't deserve this.
There are consequences. We know that this is dangerous when we sign up for these things.
I don't know what you did in Doskvol and who paid the price for what you've done. I've heard. But around here, I don't know if you've noticed, but the spirits here are stronger. So don't worry. What you do here, no matter what smoke pours from your mouth with whatever rituals you've learned, the dead always come back to exact a price. And they won't leave you alone.
Alden, in the shadows just outside the lights you have lit and here near the petrified tree, you can see just for a moment, standing and looking at you, a group of people. Severosi woman, a man in a cheap suit. You remember all of them.
Oh.
And now standing with them is a woman in a rabbit mask.
They won't leave you alone.
Oh, I know. I see how they haunt you. I saw it before, and I know that they follow you. You think that I'm not aware of the things that we do having consequences of coming back to find us? That is all it is. It is inescapable. All we can do is try to exert control over it. So Alden, if you would kindly let go of me and move out of the way unless you want to get burned. And I'm like starting to put fire oil over their bodies.
I let it go, and I'm like,
Of course I know. I know you mean it. Now I think I know exactly what sort of people I'm dealing with. I'm with you. If you wade too deep in blood, there's no way back.
I'm gonna burn their bodies.
Sure. As you're burning the bodies, you have time to reflect. Get your affairs in order, your effects in order, rather. And looking back down at the city, you see a lot of lights out on the water.
ships.
Like noble ships?
Yes.
I have.
Shit.
I haven't used everything in my loadout.
Yeah, what else do you want to? What else?
I
you
wonder
want
if there's
for,
like
right?
I wish I knew if just one of these is like a telescope or something.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I mean, the loadout. I mean, your equipment does tell you what you have, right?
Right,
What about subterfuge supplies? You don't think there's like a like binoculars or something in there?
That's almost
no.
all like
I see.
costume stuff.
Yeah, you're
It
right.
might be burglary gear though.
Yeah, burglary gear is like lockpicks and oil and. Actually, here I'm going to tick off just for fun. I'm going to make it an arcane implement. I don't have a spyglass. I have a really polished piece of jade that was given to me by a Severosi trader, and I don't hold it up to my eye. You just watch me like put it on the top of my head, and my eyes kind of turn the same color as the stone, and my sight can kind of like zero in on a point for a second.
Wow. I mean, when you open the box for arcane implements, it tells you what you get.
Yeah, but that's not a complete list. We can use our imaginations, can't we?
Those are examples.
Well, because you're just using it for a telescope.
It's a telescope, but it's a magic telescope.
I'll allow a magical telescope. But from now on, when you go for your arcane implements, I'm always going to be like, remember, one of those is a telescope instead of a spirit anchor.
Sure.
Okay. So, you are now looking out, Alden, and in the sort of light that comes up from the lights in the sea and from the lights that are, surrounding the city of Irondale, you can see that the ships are very big and they look like Leviathan hunters.
I only hope that the military government isn't already fallen by the time we get back to do our little prisoner exchange.
I'm sort of beside myself. I'm kind of staring at the bag, whispering.
Well, you better get paid soon because it looks like things are going to change in Irondale.
Let's get yourself together.
No time.
Okay. You re-enter the city. Are you going immediately to Lieutenant Sylvester?
Yeah.
Okay. When you arrive at the Imperial Military Barracks, where Park Wynn is being held, you can see that it is mostly deserted, except for a small skeleton crew of sentries. Lieutenant Sylvester immediately meets you in the shadow of the gibbet where people are hanged and says, so, did you get it?
I just have the bag.
I wouldn't open this unless you have the means to control what's inside. We've held up our part of the bargain.
Wait, how am I supposed to confirm delivery of the creature? You telling me it's in this bag? Well, I have no evidence of that.
You could turn it against your enemies, should any come to shore.
Give me the bag. Give it to me.
Believe there was a price negotiated.
Yes. The release of the prisoner. Give me the bag, and I'll take you inside, and you can take custody of the prisoner.
All right, I give him the bag, but of course we have maintained control of the amulet.
Yes, you have, and Lieutenant Sylvester knows nothing about the amulet, but I can tell you what he does do. He opens the bag immediately and looks down into it, and then an orange glow fills his face, and then for a second a pseudopod starts to poke out, and he shuts it again. Okay,
Careful.
Quickly, follow me. And he runs into the building, and you can tell that the building looks like a bunch of people left in a hurry, and it's mostly deserted.
Okay.
What's the state of things here now? Is the government falling? Is the military falling back to?
The nobles. We thought they were just blockading between here and Agaros. They're invading. They're trying to take the city.
And seeing how deserted it is,
It's like, where is the military gonna make their stand?
Right now, we're trying to hold the coast. Against 4 Leviathan hunters.
Ooh.
And now you can hear, cannons going off
in
the distance.
Shelling this coast. Okay.
Yeah, and in fact, as you run down the empty, deserted hallways of the Imperial Military Barracks, the whole building shakes for a moment, and plaster falls down in front of you, sort of making a kind of a cloud that is lit by the overhanging electric lights. And soon you arrive at a big, heavy vault door that Lieutenant Sylvester unlocks, and you move into a narrow, cramped hallway, and you pass one cell, then another, and you come to another heavy vault door with a glass porthole that you can look inside, and Lieutenant Sylvester begins to unlock this door. He opens it. He says, "Wait here." He goes inside, and I'm here to relieve you. Stand down, soldier. Head to the coast. Head to the docks. You're needed. Suddenly, a youngish soldier shoulders past you, runs back down the hallway to join his compatriots in the battle. And you can hear someone go, "Well, I have a visitor. And who might you be?" "I am the man who's going to give you your freedom, sir." And perhaps you look through the door or through the porthole, and you see what Lieutenant Sylvester is doing. He's facing a barrel-chested man who's dressed in very dirty finery, whose beard has come in for several days. A man in maybe his 50s who looks like he has a regal bearing. "The one who was talking like this." Lieutenant Sylvester walks up to the circle of black salt surrounding this man and brushes the black salt away.
What?
"You're free to go, sir." "Oh, I'm going." His throat opens.
What is he?
An enormous entity starts to exit his throat.
Is the entire nobility? They are all demon corrupted. Oh my god.
Oh!
A worm, many segmented, covered in mineral-like protrusions, bursts forth from his mouth. At its head is his face, and it begins to barrel toward the hallway where you're all standing. What do you do?
At the head of the worm is his face?
Yes.
Wow. This just
I-
keeps getting better.
Can I open the bag?
You can open the bag. You have to push Lieutenant Sylvester. You have to attack Lieutenant Sylvester and get the bag from him.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay. I'm going to say this is controlled for great effect because Lieutenant Sylvester is a little bit busy being flabbergasted, awestruck, and terrified of the creature coming toward him.
Okay.
What action are you going to use?
Oh, man.
Skirmish.
Maybe,
Great. Control
Roll
for
for great effect.
For great effect. Go for it.
6.
Oh, nice,
hell yeah.
nice,
we
nice
go.
work. Valkos, you elbow Lieutenant Sylvester out of the way, ripping the bag from his clutches, and you open it, right?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm gonna go and try and possess this fucking beast again so then I can tackle him
Oh my
with beast
god!
on beast.
Dagathos bursts forth, flaming from the bag, and lands in front of this worm-like entity. They consider each other for a moment. Their various mandibles and pseudopods almost like communicating in a semaphore-like language. Then they both turn toward the four of you, including Lieutenant Sylvester, and begin to prowl forward in a predatory stance.
We're so fucked.
What do you do? And by the way, two demons that are probably tier 4 at least, maybe tier 5. Just as your GM, I'm going to warn you, this looks bad.
Okay.
So we know that
Yeah.
Valkos is going to try once again to
100%.
absorb one of the demons.
Alden knows this is beyond him. I mean, Alden might fall back on his skills as a last-ditch effort before just running.
Yeah.
And just plead their case, how they're helping them out.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like that tactic. Juliet, what tactic do you think you'll take?
Shit, man, I don't know.
Running is not a stupid tactic, but Alden's going to try something. Valkos is going to try something. Yeah.
All my things are just, big bada booms. If I really fall on this, and I don't know that it's going to do anything to demons. Oh my god, and I'm out of stress. That's the thing. I want to assist.
No, we've blown our.
We blew all our resources. Thinking like, oh, we're done here. You know what?
Yeah, you also all have a very high stress.
Yeah.
A couple of harms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll assist Alden because I think I'm just thrown off here. I will assist Alden in trying to sway them as well. That's I think what I would have done anyway. Or I can roll separately because I've got a pretty high sway as well. Like we could both attempt. I don't know what the best thing to do is.
Either or.
Okay. Let us first resolve people talking and then resolve Valkos' attack. I think that is the order in which things could happen, with the most quickness. And so, Alden, I want to hear what you say to these things. Juliet, I want to know how you assist.
Would you like me to do the roll first, or to see how effective it is, or talk first and then see how it lands?
I think that you should roll first. That way we can have the role play match the rules.
Is this desperate or risky, or?
This is, it does seem quite desperate, doesn't it?
Don't it just?
Yeah. Desperate for limited effect. Because you won't get them to just be your friends. That's just not happening. But you may make them pause.
And I get 1 bonus die for Juliet's assistance.
Well, do you want to use it as a bonus die, or can you? Is that all the assisting does, or can it be for effect?
Assisting
I think it's just
gives
a
you
die.
A die. Yeah.
Die. Okay.
Juliet, you are, I assume, also talking alongside Alden to these things.
Yeah, and I think it's desperate, or sort of like, we were sent by your assistant James Marr for your company. We are here to free you and to aid you. I think I just start talking before Alden, like...
Are you talking to Park Wynn, who sort of stands behind the... Okay.
Yes.
So I can tell you that as you start talking, the body of Park Wynn sort of deflates like a balloon and falls like a sack of skin to the floor. And so that only the demon is here, and you are talking to the demon. So I would like to have the roll happen now, and then I want to hear what Alden and Juliet say.
Okay. So with all 4 dice, the highest rolls a 5. Not too shabby.
Okay.
But success with a consequence. So yeah.
If it's just the demons, we have worked with your kind before. We are not unfamiliar with your ways, and we understand your great power and the things that you might be able to accomplish in this space, and we only seek to help you in some way.
He's, Mr. One, it was James Marr that sent us. So, we have come to free you, that you can use your potency once again in this world. This world which is kind of glance rightfully yours to use and shape as you wish.
Yes.
We are, all of us are your instruments, but we have served you well so that you can continue your great work.
And in fact, our quarrel was never with you. We have no fight with you. We simply seek the body of Mr. Wynn. There are many other bodies on the shore coming in, ripe for the taking. Okay.
You say all of this, and you can't really tell whether they are paying attention because the human face on the end of this worm kind of isn't like making eye contact with you. You're not even sure if it can. The face is almost like a frozen mask that smiles. And finally, you hear a voice.
Insects! Cockroaches! What do you offer as sacrifice?
And this is your consequence. The two things then do regard you with their attention and are waiting for you to answer the question, what do you offer as sacrifice? If you are truly their allies, you would have a sacrifice ready. Okay, near you, Valkos stands ready to lunge at Degathos. Near you also, a little farther into the cell, Lieutenant Sylvester shakes and weeps, looking upon these things.
Going off of this cold trauma development, I'm going to grab the lieutenant. Actually, I'll just like kick him forward towards them.
What are you? No!
As I say, take me!
Alden, no! I just like sort of, I'll try to hold you back. Yeah, I'll just kick forward the lieutenant and hold you.
You say take me, Alden?
I feel like this is the trauma of this day is feeding into the he's soft. He doesn't like to kill. He has a sense of justice. This one he's remorseful, right? He shot the amulet off Eric and assisted his brutal beheading. And now once again he's just going to be using another person as a means to an end. Despite how corrupt they all may be.
The worm and Degathos start to head toward Alden Sykes. They are going to be on him in a moment, but I believe Valkos was tensed and ready for action, and so Valkos, you may now act.
Are they ignoring the lieutenant, though?
They are ignoring him because Alden stepped forward and offered himself up as tribute. And now Valkos.
And this is mostly feeling remorse for Christian, who has helped me out.
I'm going to go for a tackle and go for Degathos.
Okay, very good. What action would you like to use?
Skirmish. This time I'm realizing that I need to, in order to control this beast, I need to fight it. It only reacts to aggression. And so that's what I'm going to be using.
Tier 4, but Ghost Fighter brings it down to Tier 3. And what other...
I'm going to expend my... I don't know, did I do this actually? Did I expend my Battleborn in the last run?
You expended it in the last... Yes, you expended it in the last, which was part 1 of this score, so...
Okay, so can I take another Devil's Bargain for greater effect then?
Yeah, you can take another Devil's Bargain. This attack will make both demons focus their attentions on you.
Okay. What's the position?
The position is desperate for desperate for standard effect, meaning you will once again begin to absorb Degathos.
Okay. What the fuck, man?
Oh no.
What was the result?
2 and a 3. What is happening?
Do you have stress? Remember resistance, just in case. I don't know what's about to happen.
Would you like to resist the consequence? Because the consequence, I should have outlined the consequence earlier. But the situation is that if you fail this time, you're going to take harm. That's why it was desperate. And I believe that it's going to be a level 3 harm because both creatures are going to attack you at once. Would you like to resist that level 3 harm, which will be called horrifically mauled.
Oh my god.
If I resist, what would I be rolling?
You would be rolling a physical attribute because you have decided to approach it in a physical way.
Prowess.
So it would be
Okay.
your prowess.
Fuck it. I'm gonna resist because I know I've got 1 stress left.
If
But-
you roll anything lower than you have
6.
1 stress left. If
A
you roll
5,
anything
yeah.
lower than a 5, then you are in trouble.
In fact,
Okay.
anything lower than a 6, so I've got to get a 6. Because
Oh, yeah.
even
Oh
if it's
my
5, I
God.
get 1 stress.
Let me just say, on that assist, I used my last stress. I'm done.
Whoa.
You were done.
Oh, you're out?
Yeah, that's what I was saying about like whether I should assist or whether I should just do my own action. But yeah, that was my last hurrah.
Well, luckily we swayed them so much that they are our friends
Yeah.
only by destroying one of us.
You know
Yeah.
what? You know what? I'm
I
not
just
going to
wanted you
resist.
to know the.
I'm going to take it. If you're out, I'm going to take it.
So
Okay.
perhaps at that, maybe you just almost like reel into my arms at that, when they turn on us.
Yeah, I think maybe I'm just like muttering like, "Why is it not working? Why is it not working?" You know, and I'll just like freak out on you.
Take me. Oh, if it's blood you need, there's enough in here for the both of you.
Yeah, I'm going to take it.
They are ripping apart Valkos, burning him and attempting to eat him. And they have already created a level 3 harm for Valkos, so he needs help. And soon, if they are not stopped, they will create a level 4 harm, which means that Valkos will be dead. And so Alden
can
is
I-
the only person left. What are you going to do?
I shout out to them. I guess this would be another sway, like, let our sacrifice be one of service, rather than take blood from us. What would you have us? Yeah, what would you have us do?
Interesting. Give me a sway.
Could it
Desperate.
not be a favor? Yeah,
Desperate for
maybe should have gone that way from the start.
limited effect. Limited effect. Did you hear that?
I did.
Okay.
I got a 5.
Okay. You're 5. Your 5 means
Why destroy a body that could do you great service?
the worm talks again.
What service can an insect do for one as divine as I?
Service too debased for one so great as yourself. Surely you would not wish to dirty your mandibles on all that you wish to have performed. Could we not, in lieu of sacrifice, proffer some service to you, or something that you wish? Why destroy a body as powerful as his, though it pales in comparison to your might and greatness? Surely it could be more useful to you, whole and powerful than wrecked and desanguinated.
You hear the voice that says, "Win." And then suddenly, Park Wynn's face sort of forms out of the face that was there before. It becomes more human. And he looks down at you and says, "Interesting. Very interesting. We will
also-
take this man for our food." And now Degathos runs over and grabs Lieutenant Sylvester and starts dragging him deeper into the cell, chewing on Lieutenant Sylvester's leg. And then Wynn looks down at you and says, "Enter Imperial Headquarters and remove all demonic wards. Now."
as my lord wishes it. Thank you for accepting service.
Your voice annoys me like a gnat that I have to swat from my face. You disgust me. Do as I command, slave. Now!
And if we're being given leave to go to perform this duty, then I will attempt to drag away Valkos and...
Yeah, Juliet is just out from
departure.
stress, so Juliet can kind of like limp along with you.
Sure. Yeah. I think I'm like frozen over Valkos. If you're dragging Valkos, just like sort of in a shaken state, like watching what's happened to him.
Now, as you are exiting, you go by an office. You can see that a cannonball has gone through the wall there. And you notice that this office was formerly locked up tight. And you notice that there is money from a safe sprayed all over the floor.
Aw,
Jared giveth and Jared taketh
that's
away.
very nice. Wow.
How much?
Oh, approximately
Valko's like,
9 coin.
How much?
Oh, almost as much as Mar offered us. So I think as we pass that door, probably Juliet and Alden just kind of like look at each other, look back, and then go in there and start like packing up as much as they can cram in their coats.
Well, I think Alden can do it. I think I'm just like frozen with Valkos. I think I'm like completely taken out when that trauma happens.
I'm just like, watch the
Valkos
door,
is
would
taken
you?
out.
Well, no,
Valkos is taken out.
I'm not taken out. I just need help, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I read the trauma one. I think I'm basically
You're
left
finished.
for I think I'm just like totally out of it.
Though per what we talked about with a level 3 harm, do you need help or are you just one less die in effect? Does it drop down to a level 2?
Oh yeah, because
That's
he's
right.
Yeah.
that's true actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So I'm
can't
just
believe
freaking out in front of you.
a demon fed on Valkos' face and he just has -1 die.
Hey,
He's a tough dude.
face always looked like it was eaten by demons.
Yeah. All right. So you are able to grab up that coin if you wish, and you are able to exit Imperial headquarters. The city is on fire. You can hear fighting down toward the docks. You know that there's probably an Imperial military, camp down there now. And you were the only one that can... Oh, well, no, I'm sorry. Valkos can act as well. So, Alden and Valkos, what do you do?
So we're supposed to take out some demon wards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Well, thing is, they can't touch us if we have demon wards.
You know, Valkos, I was just thinking the exact same thing. And perhaps if we can find this room where the wards are, if there is such a place, if we can, of course, take them out, but keep them.
Would you like to do anything before you approach the Imperial redoubt at the coast? First,
where
Juliet, where do you go?
Unless someone takes me, I think that she is like muttering to herself and like shaking and just starts like walking.
I've got
direction.
her. I've got her around my arm around her shoulders, sort of directing, and I can hear her muttering, and even I myself am shaken. But I think that little pip of stress that I have left, I'm using it to sort of direct, and I'm kind of look to Alden with like puppy dog eyes, like, lead us, please.
And it's totally calm. It's like, yes, of course, don't worry, got everything well in hand. And of course, he is like hanging by a thread, but is like can put up a good front. And so just so I'm clear, Jared, are these wards that the demons were referring to, are they in the facility we currently are, or are they in the redoubt you just mentioned, where
they
the
are
military
in the
is?
Imperial encampment, and in fact,
Gotcha.
Knowing the situation for all of our players, for all of our characters, I'm going to make this offer. We can now move into a downtime. Normally, downtime, it is assumed to go on for maybe a week, maybe several days. We are going to do a special type of downtime where maybe it's 30 minutes, an hour long, right? So that will affect, the types of things we can do believably, but it will give you time to heal yourselves and do other things to get ready for what looks like the score that the demon has sent you on.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
Great.
Okay.
So we are going to see that downtime next time when we come back for our next episode.
Great.
And things are really coming to a head here in Irondale. Lord Strangford has arrived, everybody.
Yes, the fog of war rolls in from the sea.
The fog of war rolls in from the sea. I can't wait to see how it all turns out. We will see you next time with more Haunted City here on the Glass Cannon Network.